This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Quiet Roar. I'm the warden, and this is episode 1. I wrote it from random roles listed on the inside cover of Mothership, with my own twist, of course, but I really have no idea where this is going to go, such is the nature of improvisation. Before we begin, I do want to mention that we get most of our funding through our Patreon site. Your generous support helps us to pay for our websites and our club space and everything that goes into our video production. It's your support that keeps us going, and we deeply appreciate it. So, without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Its official designation on the star charts is Ross 248. Locals have not given it a colloquial name. The same can be said for the fourth planet, Ross 248d. The star was named by Frank Elmore Ross in 1926, and in approximately 80,000 years, it will be the closest star to our sun. What he never suspected was that the fourth planet was a paradise, a pure and beautiful Garden of Eden world. It is now the year 2409, and our story begins. Ross 248d has only one small city, Port Nineveh, and a handful of outlying villages. There is no local government other than town councils and mayors. There is very little in terms of security or police, but most of the inhabitants are good, honest folk. Tourism, however, is soon going to be taking off. And in anticipation of that eventuality, certain hopeful entrepreneurs have set up a bed and breakfast in one of the most spectacular sites found in the eastern rainforest. The site features a beautiful tropical forest, flowers in abundance, warm weather by day, cool weather by night, a place to relax. But what makes this place special is the waterfalls. No one can quite explain their hypnotic beauty. For some, as yet unexplained reason, the light reflecting off the water produces scintillating colors and patterns. The strange optical illusion also makes the water appear to fall at 1/4 the speed. The bed and breakfast owners call it stardust. The owners themselves took advantage and staked a claim early on. They were able to reserve 3,000 acres of land with a manor house at the center. The 6 of them are the caretakers, and they run the business. Today, they are expecting their shuttle to arrive with 6 guests. The house AI, Butler 1, makes the announcement. Ladies, gentlemen, our guests will arrive in approximately 20 minutes.
Fantastic. All the rooms are ready to go.
I've got a lovely menu planned.
Excellent.
Yeah, the bar's all stocked. Does anyone need a hand with anything?
I made sure the hedges were trimmed earlier this morning.
The weather looks like it's going to be perfect. And after 20 minutes or so, the sound of a whirring engine, a sky shuttle, you can hear off in the distance coming towards you. What are you guys all going to do? How are you going to greet your guests?
I think we decided we were going to line up outside to meet them, didn't we?
We can get like on the porch kind
Yeah.
of on the stairs going down.
Yeah.
We could meet them
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
small reception platform for the shuttle is just maybe 100 feet from the front door. You hear the whirring get louder, and the ship appears in the sky. It rotates to the correct orientation with the side doors facing you, and it lands very gently with its anti-gravity engines shutting down. The doors open. You know that there is no pilot. The pilot is automated. So the doors open and little stairs, you know, drop down from the doorway. You see a number of people. There are 6 people. Um, the first one to exit is a man. He is rather flamboyantly dressed. The second is followed by a man and a woman together. They have luggage with them. Um, the third is a man who's in a business suit, followed by another rather flamboyantly dressed man. And actually, I think we've got 7 people. Another man and a strange looking character. Looks, I guess, like the old videos, like a wolf man. Uh, he appears to have hair all over his body, though he is also dressed in regular human clothing. His um, he walks on his toes, much like a dog does, and they begin to move towards you.
Ladies, gentlemen, and I'll make sure I make eye contact with everybody, including the dog man when I say it. Please, please be welcome. You are the lucky first visitors to Stardust, and we are all here to serve you on your time here and make sure that you have a pleasant stay.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Can somebody get our baggage?
Right away, right away. Just so you know who our names. I am Dantillion. I will be your concierge. Gentlemen, just introduce yourselves.
I am Antonio. I can help you with anything. I will serve you a drink and I will also help make food.
If any of your pipes burst, just let me know. Name's Edward.
Are they likely to burst?
No, but
Well,
it's
no.
good to have
No.
someone if ever such a thing happened. Yeah,
Um,
continue.
I'm Steven. I'm the head chef here. Going to have a wonderful menu planned for your stay.
One of them says, "You got my dietary requirements,"
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we do.
and you have stuff that Rex can eat. The man points to his werewolf-like friend.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sure we can accommodate any requests and dietary restrictions.
We definitely can, brother. We 100% can.
They're
That's
all
the
moving
guarantee.
forward towards the open the entrance.
Quick, the final 2 people introduce us.
Yes,
My name is
Eliza.
Balthazar,
Yep.
and I will be getting your bag shortly.
Greetings. My name is Eliza. I'm here to make sure that your stay is as pleasant as possible. If you need anything at all, day or night, I will be available.
Ah, you have an artificial life form. Uh, um, yeah, it's a little disconcerting considering that we're trying to get away from technology here, but
Eliza is as trustworthy as anything, and she will, if you don't need her at all, she will stay back.
they start to file into the main lobby and line up at the station, the concierge desk.
I'm taking like a hover cart out to the thing to grab all their baggage.
Yeah, I'll probably be helping.
I suspect we practiced this like 3 times yesterday because we didn't want to screw this up.
Well, you've probably been to a lot of resorts yourself, so you kind
Yeah.
of know the way.
Yeah.
No. So the first guest to come up, he says, "My name is Aloysius Nunk. I'm a playwright. I have a single room.
Yes. And I think you
I
said you wanted a lot of privacy, did you not?
yes, I'm writing a play currently, and I'd like to be left alone and stay quiet. Of course, I'll come down for food and things
Okay,
like
excellent.
that, but perhaps you know some places in the area that are quiet and peaceful and that I can sit
Absolutely.
and do my work.
I can give you a personal tour of some of the nicer spots this evening if you'd like.
Oh, thank you. And then you check him in and give him
Yep.
his key card, which is, a laser tattoo that burns inside. The second person up is a married couple, Kip and Marty Tyson. They look like they were recently married, maybe quite
Honeymoon.
recently. Yeah. Yes, we have the honeymoons.
Excellent. And I gather you'll be just having a lot of take-in then.
Oh, well, not necessarily. It's quite beautiful. Well, we will be looking around, but
Okay,
yeah, you have do not disturb signs, I'm sure.
of course. And we have complimentary wine for the occasion for you, for you folk.
So they get checked in, a step by. The next man comes up. He looks kind of no nonsense. It's nonsense. He has a briefcase, which he didn't leave with the luggage.
We have
Quig.
we have a secure vault if you need anything you'd like to check in, sir.
Well, I'll keep this with myself. You have safes in the room.
Of course.
Okay. This is Nunyak Quib. He tells you that he is a merchant from Port Nineveh, and he was thinking about doing a corporate meeting, and he's sort of scouting the place out for something like that. Do you have any large conference rooms?
We do have a large venue.
We do.
Yes, Mr. Cabrera will show you that later if you'd like.
Yes, I will.
I almost said it's not dangerous, is it?
No, it's not dangerous at all. It's perfectly safe.
The fourth guest, or the fifth guest, and introduces himself as Cam Fisher. Now, Cam Fisher is a pretty well-renowned artist.
Oh,
The kind of art that you couldn't afford.
no, but we know of him. He's quite famous.
Yeah, he's quite famous.
Yeah, I actually have art as a skill, so I look kind of like, oh my goodness, like I'm slightly in awe of this person being here.
I've been told that the place is extremely beautiful, and I'm hoping to find inspiration in seeing. I hear the falls or something to see something spectacular.
You'll be very moved, sir.
Have you ever had anybody paint them?
No one has painted them yet, sir. You will be the first to do this.
Wonderful. And then the final two are Walden Speen. He doesn't really give an occupation. And he has this companion. The companion's name is Rex, and he looks very much like a wolf man.
Has Mr. Speen given us any special needs for his companion that we had to prepare ahead of time?
Not really. He likes raw meat.
Okay.
So
the Cabreras can handle that.
Yes, we can.
Yep. Good.
It's interesting because Rex is not he's not really what you'd call frightening. He doesn't look like a movie monster. He looks like some sort of mutant hybrid with human and canine genes, maybe. And they both check in. They're looking forward to just exploring the area.
All right.
So once they're all checked in, um, you've shown them their rooms, you've
Mhm.
shown them places, and they have, well, 4 hours before dinner is
Mhm.
served. So what would you guys like to do? What are you guys doing to keep busy?
Um, I'll be at the bar ready to serve them drinks, but about an hour before dinner, I will run into the kitchen
Mhm.
to assist my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some tartar to make, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, yeah, we do. We've got yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the kitchen and start
Mhm.
getting basics prepared. I'm also gonna make like a before dinner like little canapes kind of thing that sits out by the bar with Antonio and people can munch on those if they want.
Stephen, what's on your menu for tonight?
For tonight, we are gonna do a very light soup to begin with. Um, Basically just sort of a very light chicken soup. The next thing I've got planned for is a salad, utilizing some of the local leafy greens that we can identify that are safe and not poisonous. Um,
You might have a greenhouse where you grow.
yeah, yeah. I'm still
Yeah.
after Edward. I want tomatoes, Edward. Tomatoes. I
You know
need
how
tomatoes for the bowl. My mama's bolognese. I have to have the tomatoes.
do you know how hard it is to get tomatoes imported out here?
Yes,
It's
that's why
ridiculous.
I want you to grow me some tomatoes.
Well, I gotta get the seeds first. You don't see tomatoes growing out here in the jungle, do you?
No, just
There you
Mr.
go,
Cabrera,
Stephen.
you seem rather stressed.
it's okay. It's okay. It's just a very normal position for me to be in. I'm gonna be fine. Thank you for
Elevated levels of stress for prolonged periods of time are not conducive to one's health.
Eliza, he'll be fine. He always is. He just gets like this. I don't know why. Working in the kitchen's not that stressful.
Understood, Mr. Cabrera.
I'll get you the tomatoes when I can get the tomatoes.
okay,
All right?
okay, okay,
All
okay.
right.
All right. Um, Main course, salmon with some carrot puree and some risotto, mushroom risotto with saffron. And then I've got a selection of desserts available for this evening. Antonio is taking care of all the wine accompaniments for the dinner.
Indeed. And I have a variety of cocktails, obviously, throughout the day. And I will help you plate and all that. I am prepared.
I appreciate the assistance.
And do the desserts, because I like to do the desserts.
In the interim, some of the guests begin to wander back downstairs. Um, uh, our married couple, Kip and Marty, they've changed clothes. They're wearing light, comfortable white, mostly. Um, the humidity on this planet in the daytime it can get a little high, but at night it slacks off, and the afternoon and evenings are the most comfortable. It can early in the morning get a little chilly, but that once again that sort of slacks off when the sun comes up.
Well, all the rooms have fireplaces just for that old-fashioned kind of warmth feel. So
Yeah.
we offer a service of making sure there's a nice warm stoked fireplace in the morning if people want it.
Yeah. And interestingly, the house itself has a fire suppression system. So if anything ever did start a fire, it would be immediately put out. So that's why you can be so careless with fire in the house.
I am
Later
sure
on,
that is
Ken,
a
Go ahead.
I'm sure that's a piece of technology that they won't uh, detest at having around.
Yeah, there is technology here. It's just hidden so that it's not, except for you. Eliza, kind of describe yourself. What do you look like?
Well, Eliza is a gynoid, which means she's a robot android that looks like a woman. Um, she dresses in these very plain color palette, as you can kind of see. There's kind of various neutral grays, whites, browns. She just has a very placid expression on her face pretty much all the time. Neat, short, black hair. Always standing up perfectly straight. Um, a little
So
smile.
it becomes obvious to anybody who's seen your type of android that you're an android.
Yeah, it's not. Androids at this point in time aren't.
They're not perfect
They're not
replicas.
perfect replicas. No.
A lot of people don't want them to be perfect replicas. They find that disconcerting. Um, right. So the married couple come downstairs. They're laughing. They look happy. Um, we'll say you have a sort of 3D map
Mhm.
on the wall, like you sometimes see, that just shows the various areas. Path here goes to the waterfall, path here goes to the glade, path here goes to the gorge, places to go and sit. You've got benches all over the place for people to sit. Um, you've also got a kind of a dinner bell that will ring. People will hear it if they're out in the, usually rings maybe 10 minutes before dinner or any meal. Um, all right, so they go out. They're happy. They're going to go out wandering around. Next down comes the artist, Cam Fisher. He seems to be, looking at everything. He's looking at the various decor that you have in here, but he dismisses it almost
Of
immediately
course. It's not, it's below his
because,
standards. Yeah.
well, it's standard when you buy a pre-configured manor house.
Mhm.
There's nothing really unusual. You're hoping that over the years you will acquire various souvenirs and things like that you'll start putting up and make the place look very much your own. Um, he looks at the map and you can see him looking intently at the falls.
Mhm.
So you get the impression that's where he's going. Um, Aloysius Nunk does not come downstairs. He's probably getting himself ready. Um, you can also hear water running upstairs. So somebody's taking a shower or a bath, probably a shower. Um, and then Walden Speen and his Wolfman companion Rex uh, come downstairs and uh, they go outside. He says, "Is there a place outside where he can run around?" Uh,
Gorge is pretty
Um,
empty.
The
all
gorge?
right. The gorge is a large crack in the planet. It drops down maybe 80 feet. There is a
Maybe not
river
the.
down there. There is a railing, of course.
Oh, okay. There's a way to get down there. Okay.
Um, so they go out to wander about, and you guys are getting ready for everything around you. Is there anything in particular you want to do?
Hmm.
I'd like to go, those who have come out of their rooms, I'd like to just kind of go room by room to make sure, like, see what they've already gotten into toiletries wise and make sure, like, I'm checking, like, they will need this in the morning, they won't need this, that kind of thing.
Do you want to do like a turn down service?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll
the
leave like
beds are
little flyers that say, we offer laundry service, call this number.
excellent. All right. So you do that. Um, After about, we'll say, an hour or so, um, Butler One says, let's see, who is mostly maintenance? Mr. Clark,
What's up, Butler?
there seems to be some broken branches on a tree near the west corner of the house. My
Hmm.
sensors have detected that something has recently damaged them.
All right, I'll go take a look. Thank you, Butler.
Hey, Mr. Clark, you okay? As I'm behind the bar, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just well, a little nervous about this first batch of customers, you know.
Have you? Do you need a hand with anything?
Ah, if you want, I could always use an extra pair of hands holding the ladder.
Yeah, I'll come along with you. Let me just get out of my outfit.
Mm. All right, meet me by the back door. I gotta grab my ladder.
Yeah, we'll do. Don't worry.
Near the back
Um,
portion of the house, kind of a little ways out of the way, is a garden shed. It's got things like ladders and stuff like that. You can see this is a kind of local tree. It reminds you the most of like lilac because it's got
mm.
like almost cones of flowers. Uh, they're kind of pink and purple. Um, but something almost heavy, or it would have had to have been heavy, has snapped a couple of the branches down, either by forcing them this way or by pulling them downward. Um, there's been no storms, not for weeks and weeks.
Do the branches have any kind of claw mark on them?
Oh, you don't see any kind of claw mark. Um, the cuts or the cracks are not uniform. It's broken and then it's sort of peeled and it's quite rough,
So
like something
it's like
heavy
they were
snapped.
intentionally snapped, you
Yeah.
know. Probably Fido climbing up the tree. Uh,
Eddie, what's going on?
I think a resident wolf man tried climbing the tree and snapped the branches. Hey,
Well, we better move it out to get the
yeah,
debris out of the way, and
first it's that bot, and now it's a werewolf. Yeah,
yeah, it's easy peasy. We can fix this.
yeah. I don't know. Can't trust. I don't trust a face that looks like a dog.
You should be more trusting. Nothing goes wrong when you're more trusting of people.
Mm. Then yeah, I'll just start clearing out the broken branches and the chipped wood.
And I stand there and look pretty, pretending to help, but I don't actually help.
Meanwhile, Mr. Aloysius Nunk finally comes out of his room. He's dressed in, I mean, what you would call a smoking jacket,
Hmm.
something leisurely and casual, um, and still yet a little bit formal.
Hmm.
He comes down. You see him look into the bar. He then comes over to the concierge, Dantillion, at the
Mr.
desk, and he
Nook.
says, he says, uh, "Do you have a bartender? I don't see
Oh,
anybody in there."
we do. He has some other details that he attends to as well. I can arrange for have anything delivered to your room if there's something you'd like. Would you like
Well,
to?
actually, I thought, I mean, it was a long trip getting here. It was like 4 hours.
Mhm. What would you like?
I just thought I'd come downstairs and get a drink.
Well, here, I can serve you. Then what would you enjoy?
Um, you have can make it a lemon drop.
Let's see. Is that an art skill roll? Or is it rim-wise? I've got
Oh,
both.
no, I'm sure that you know how to.
And
Okay, I'll make
also
an
the
odd.
menus are behind the bar just for
Oh,
people
yes, of
who don't
course.
know how to make them.
Right. Ah, yes, lemon drop. I see.
Little black book. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Because I'm nice like that.
You're a big help, Mr. Cabrera. I sort of serve him the lemon drop. So is the room to your liking, sir? Is there anything else you might need? I mean, do you
Yeah,
have
I
to?
mean it seems nice enough. It's a quiet place. What's it like at night? Are there a lot of animal noises and stuff? Crickets?
Actually, that's a good question. Is there?
You tell me.
Oh, okay. We do have there is a mellifluous collection of nightfowl that like to kind of make some noises as it goes towards the early evening. And there's an odd bat-like creature that has been known to make some rather strange but not unpleasant sounds at odd hours, perhaps when he's capturing his prey.
Any anything dangerous?
Not to humans, no, no. I mean, perhaps small animals might be in danger to some things, but we're perfectly fine.
Well, that's good to know. I've heard a few things about your waterfall. Um,
It is entrancing, sir. You will, when you see it, you're going to lose time. And in fact, I might even see you to hours afterwards. Be prepared for that. You're going to be very, very called in by it. Don't plan on going just a quick visit to it before you write something or whatever it is you're going to be doing on this visit.
well, how far a walk is it?
It's a few minutes. As I said, I'm happy to show you how to get there anytime you'd like. We can even, we can even bring a couple of drinks with us.
Oh, well, that would be nice. I'm game. You
All right,
pick
let me pack a
someplace.
little. He gets a little picnic basket, little setup. I'm just going to contact Eliza. Eliza,
Yes,
I'm
Mr.
taking,
Barnsworth?
I'm taking a guest on a tour of the waterfall. Can you be prepared to assume some of the concierge duties in my absence?
Of course, Mr. Barnsworth.
Thank you, Eliza. I'll keep you updated.
Okay. And the two of you go off walking down the path towards the waterfall. Um, Inside the kitchen, um, everything is bubbling and cooking nicely. Um, we don't have spot hiddenness, do we? Uh, Instead of that, we'll just say, Stephen, as you are uh, getting stuff, you go to get some rice, or did you say risotto?
Yeah, risotto is a rice base. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and you notice that there is a line of not quite ants, um, but something akin to ants, that have found their way through a gap where the two wall panels come together, that leads directly outside. They seem to have come in and are exploring a bit in your pantry, looking for food, or perhaps they found something.
Oh, geez. So uh I'm gonna go get like some vinegar and try to get rid of them or the ones I can see and kind of wipe around the area where these ant-like creatures are coming through and um I'm like, yeah, I have to talk to Edward about this and see if we can't get this gap fixed up and whatnot. But Butler one, are you there?
Yes, Stephen, what can I do for you?
I have a question. I've got some kind of ant-like creature that's crawling through into the house. Do we have something that I could put down that that would take care of them?
You mean an insecticide of some sort?
Yes, yes.
Not knowing what the physiology is of the plants and animals of this planet, where I'm not sure what kind of insecticide would work.
I was
I
afraid that
detect the
would be the
smell of
answer.
vinegar. Have you sprayed vinegar on them?
I'm trying it. I'm trying it. I don't know if this will work or not, but
What is their reaction? You
well, they
you
don't
look
like
down at
it.
the little you look down at the little insects, and a few of them are going and turning around and heading back towards the gap.
Okay. No, thank you,
The other
Butler.
ones are,
Mr.
of
Cabrera,
course.
Yes, Eliza.
your stress levels have risen again.
Well, I've got some insects that are crawling into the building here, and I'm afraid they're going to get into my food.
They
And
are very small.
yes, they are. Yes, sometimes it's the small things that cause the biggest headaches. How are things going out there?
So far, everything is fine. Mr. Barnsworth has taken one of the guests out to see the waterfall.
Oh, nice. That's lovely. Well, dinner's coming along quite well, actually. Is Antonio still out there, or is he left?
I believe Antonio and Edward have gone to investigate a broken tree branch outside.
Ah, okay.
One might question why this is a two-person job, and yet it is.
Well, Antonio occasionally will skive off, uh, and it's okay. It's okay.
For some reason, I get the impression that it is not okay.
Oh, it's fine, as you say. It is fine.
I do not find your answer in this case reassuring. Your stress levels are still
Well, thank you, Eliza. I appreciate the medical diagnostic. I thank you for that.
Balthazar, um, you're upstairs. You've turned down some of the rooms, and you get to Mr. Nunya Quips. Or, oh boy, why did I make up this name? Uh, Nunya Quib.
Quig.
Wig. His room. You hear that the water is turned off. Of course, you don't go into his room while he's in there. But you can hear him making noise like perhaps he's putting on his clothes and getting ready to exit the room. You go to the next room, do the turn down service, and as you're coming out of that room, indeed, Mr. Quig is leaving his room. He makes sure that the door is locked. Um, and
Good
he
afternoon,
says,
Mr. Quig.
Good afternoon.
I
Uh,
trust everything is to your liking.
yes, it is. Oh, you're doing turn down service? Uh,
Yes, sir. I'm getting everybody ready for this evening's in-house sleep.
I would appreciate it if you simply skip my room for that. Uh,
Surely, sir. I can do that for you. And I'll kind of scratch them off my list.
yeah, I tend to like to take care of my own room. I have sensitive documents that I'm working on, and I just for security reasons, I'd prefer it if nobody goes into the room. If my room if I'm dissatisfied with my room at some point, I'll take my things and then you can clean. If that's not too much of trouble for you.
No, sir. That will be no trouble at all. I will manage that in our system.
I saw also that you have a laundry service, and I do have some soiled things that I have from the trip. Um, Perhaps what should I do? Put them in the bag and leave them outside the door?
Yes, sir. If you will put them in the bag, and if you do not wish for us to come inside, you can leave them outside the door, and I will pick them up promptly.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Yang. And he goes downstairs.
And as he's going downstairs, I'm just kind of looking at him like that's a little odd, that's suspicious, but I'm typing it all in our little system letting Eliza know that, hey, this guy might have something of note going on, so we shouldn't bother him too much.
Understood. Our guest's privacy is one of our topmost concerns.
Of course.
So, Antonio and Edward, you actually figure that uh, you can air graft the tree. You can sort of bend the branch back into position, bringing the layers of its internal structure back together, and then wrap it with a band, just like you were fixing a broken leg. You figure you're not exactly sure how quickly it grows, but with any luck, within a week or two, it will have healed itself.
Well, bit of a rush job, but all right.
As
Yeah,
you're
you're doing
doing
good
that,
work, Eddie.
Yeah, well, one of us has to, Antonio.
you do notice one interesting thing, and that's that when the branch goes back into position and you fix it, um, the top sort of, ball of purple flowers that's there is pushed up against one of the second story balconies. Um, Not the one that goes to any particular room, but the one at the end of the hallway, where people can come out, just there's a table and chairs up there. So maybe something jumped off of
The
the
balcony onto the
balcony
tree.
onto the tree or got hooked on the tree as it fell.
What in the world?
That's
I'll
that's
check that out.
that's odd, Edward.
Yeah,
I don't think that would have been the wolf if that was the case, because we saw him come down.
that I'll I'll check out the balcony, see if anything's up there. Maybe it was, I don't know, that big bat thing that's running around. Maybe it was on the balcony, something scared it and it fell, hit the tree. I don't know.
Oh,
I'll look at.
you mean Bob the bat? Yeah,
Oh God, you
yeah.
named it?
I always name them. Anyway, I'm gonna go check on my brother and
Yeah,
man the bar because
yeah, you
I'm
you
yeah.
do that. You do that. And
So,
I'll
Antonio, you go back inside, just as Aloysius and Dandelion are walking out. Um, uh, Cam Fisher has come down the stair. He was already down the stairs. He wanders in there for a drink, which you're able to fix
Huh.
him.
What can I get you?
He'll have a Manhattan.
Well, you're lucky that's one of my specialties. If you're ever into ever you ever want any of my special cocktails, I have a list. I make them especially for everyone.
Oh, I'd like to see your list. Artistic
Uh,
creativity in drinks is really interesting.
uh, so do you, I will show you. I'll show them the
Let me
menu,
see.
but
Yeah, let me
can I
see.
can I recommend one for you that I think
Sure.
as an artistic man you might like? I think you might like my Locura Purpura. It is
Pure, pura,
Locura Purpura.
pura.
Yeah.
Is that
Uh,
purple
it
something?
yeah, it is. It's actually it sounds weird, but it's made with beetroot. It's don't worry, it sounds strange, but it's beautiful.
Excellent. So you make the drink for him, and
I do indeed.
he tastes it, and he indeed does like it. And he especially likes the presentation. Uh, it's good color, very, very pretty.
It is indeed.
Uh, So Dantillion, you and Aloysius are walking along.
Mhm.
Uh, the path, it's difficult to describe all of this. You're in a rainforest.
Mhm.
There are vines, there are flowers hanging down from the trees. Um, some of them look vaguely like earth plants, but most of them are quite spectacular and strange. And some of the colors are, well, in some cases you'd almost say hard to look at
Yeah,
because they're so bright. Um, it's not something that would like go with any decor if you used them as cut flowers.
that's why we
But at the
don't.
same time, it would be a botanist's dream to,
Mhm.
see all of this stuff. Um, a good portion of this planet is completely unexplored. It's nearly the size of Earth. Um, Gravity is almost identical to Earth. The air quality and everything is pristine, and it's very much like Earth. Earth plants will grow here quite easily. Um,
Yes, making me think I should extend invitations to botanists and scientists to come here and stay.
well,
Hmm.
and most especially the waterfall as you are slowly approaching it, you following down a path, and as you are approaching, um, the waterfall itself, it's always been the most intriguing and beautiful part of this.
Oh, I love
They
taking people
say it
down here for that reason. It gives me an
in
excuse.
the afternoon sun,
Hmm.
it's almost like raining fire. It's spectacular. And it moves in such a way you don't think that it's actually moving any slower than a waterfall would move. But there's some weird
Trick of the
illusion
light.
that's
Yeah.
a trick of the lights so that it looks like it's falling very slowly as it's falling downward. And the sound is a quiet roar.
Mhm.
It it's loud, but it's not unpleasantly loud, and it's almost like a loud whisper, which is really weird too.
Mhm. Sometimes, so you can just close your eyes and listen to this,
Yeah,
and you hear all manner of things in it. By the way,
yeah,
I brought a
you're
chair. I brought a chair if you decide you'd like to sit here and let it inspire you. Just let it let yourself
it's
hear
quite
it and
beautiful.
see it. Yes. Please
It's
have a
like you
seat.
call it stardust, though right now it
Started.
looks like firefalls.
It is everything, and it becomes everything if you give it enough time. To me, it seems like stardust, but yes.
It almost seems like it's speaking things, like words in the
Mhm.
water.
Well,
Fascinating.
I would think a soul like yourself, like a playwright, might sort of almost get speech out of it. Yes. If you're seeking
I can
inspiration, perhaps it'll talk to you.
I can I can see that, or at least having it the backdrop of a story or
Mhm.
a play. Well, I don't want to keep you from your duties.
No, no,
Thank
no.
you
I
for
just wanted to
bringing me
make sure you
down
got
here.
comfortable. Here's
I
your,
think I'll
there's a,
sit down here for a while. And
all right.
how long do you think till dinner?
Well, we do ring a bell. We've got another maybe 2.5 hours. If you're late, I'll understand. Although if you're very late, I'll come and check on you because, as I say, people have found they lose time here.
I see.
Um, would you like me to set an alarm, or would you just rather rely on your natural sense of things?
Well, no, you say there's a bell. I should
There's a
be able to
bell.
hear that from here.
Your mind might decide just to ignore it if you're really relaxed. Anyways, please enjoy. And if you need anything, in the picnic basket, there's a little button you can hit to contact the house, and we'll come and check on you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So Dantillion, you make your way back. Um, you arrive back. Eliza is uh, going over the books, I
Hmm.
suppose. Well,
Eliza,
she's
did anyone
waiting there.
need anything in particular, or was everyone happy?
I believe everyone is happy, except of course for Mr. Cabrera, who seems exceptionally stressed.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
But not the other Mr. Cabrera, who seems unnaturally unstressed.
It's a balance. I think the one takes from the other. It's some kind of cosmic connection between them or something.
I
You know,
believe that's called parasitism.
Yes, that actually would be an apt word. Now, if Mr. Cabrera was less stressed, I suspect then it would be more stressed. But we might be able to get some kind of equilibrium. Do you think that's manageable? Because I certainly wouldn't want Stefan to die young, of stress. That would be terrible. Perhaps
Well,
we, yes. Do you have any ideas, Eliza? I'm always willing to listen.
I believe that some of Mr. Cabrera's concerns and stress are due
Hmm.
to his overt senses of perfectionism.
Oh, that's so hard to deal with. Yes, of course. Um,
And of course, his relationship to his brother doesn't help.
no, no.
His brother seems to suffer from a complete lack of standards.
He's very, very dependent on his older brother, and I'd almost think perhaps he would. Yes, okay, Eliza, maybe we need to have a little drink with Stefan at some point, and maybe we can work on him. Well, you don't drink, of course, I know, but do you have oil or something, or does anything relax
I
you?
I am programmed to be able to to be able to consume
Ah,
alcohol. It puts people
okay,
more at ease if I can drink with them.
okay,
It does
excellent. All
not
right.
affect my functioning, of course.
Well, that's fine, that's fine. But you can pretend to be a little bit affected, right? That always kind of works, doesn't it?
I can certainly try.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we'll have after we get the work done for night. Perhaps we'll have a talk with Stefan. Because you're right, I don't want him to have a
You
heart
may
attack or
also
something.
want to caution your colleague, Mr. Clark.
What's he doing?
Butler 1 overheard him using some very harsh terms in reference to one of our guests.
Why does he do that? You're right. You never know. Someone could be around a corner. No, can you print out what he said? Let me just, what kind of, don't say it aloud. What kind of terms? You show me like a printout or something.
Yeah, I show you the printout of the whole Wolfman werewolf conversation.
Oh, that's so inconsiderate. Okay, yeah, well, he's an equal partner, but yeah, I'll have a talk with him. I'll have a talk with him. Thank you for calling me that to my attention, Eliza. Your vigilance is extremely helpful.
Yes, that is one of the benefits of synthetic staff. We are
Exactly.
always present.
Exactly. And I will always stand by that. All right. I'll get back
Well,
to dealing with some book stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
so Edward, you come inside, you go up the grand staircase to the second level. You walk down the hallway past the guest rooms. By the way, your rooms are on the second level as well. They're just in the other direction. Um, you walk down to the balcony door. It's a French door. It opens like this onto the balcony, and you step out. There's a little wrought iron table with chairs that are sitting there. At least they look like that. They're probably some form of synthetic, but they're made to look exactly like they should. Um, you begin to look around on the balcony, and you do notice some odd scrapes. Uh, when this material, the thing that the whole house is made out of, gets scraped, its finish gets changed. So it's not necessarily, it looks like wood, but it's not wood. When you scrape it, it's definitely a different color. Uh, and you notice that not just where the branches are, but in a few spots on that side of the balcony, there are scrapes along the sides of the balustrade that are
Like
odd,
something was crawling
like not across the
across.
top, but yeah, kind of like
Hmm.
something might have crawled up or down. Um,
Ah,
you also notice that here and there on the flat surface of the floor itself, that there are also some odd scratches. Looks like it would have, imagine if you will, if it was done by a screwdriver, something
okay.
about that, something somewhat pointy, um, that was poked and then scraped a little, poked and scraped a little, but
Uh,
not particularly large, and not like in a pattern. Let's say like this, it's not like five little
it's kind of like
marks.
sporadic a
It's
little.
just single marks here and there on the
Hey,
surface.
Butler One, you there?
Yes, Mr. Clark. What can I do for you?
Uh, can you tell me the time you sensed these little poking marks in the balcony here?
Changes are, I can sense that there have been changes that came uh, since perhaps last night.
Hmm.
There are occasionally animals,
Yeah, that's what I'm
uh,
thinking.
but they're usually not harmful. Um, Wood damaging animals wouldn't find anything here to actually, do.
Right.
Like on old Earth, woodpeckers wouldn't find this place at all appealing because they'd break their bills on the surface.
So
It looks
whatever.
like from what you describe, it seems like only a kind of finish has been scratched. Uh, you can use a 3/8 repair gun to refinish those spots to fix them.
Alrighty. And I'll pull that from my tool belt that I always carry with me, and I'll just get started on fixing up those little marks.
Buff the little marks out.
Mm.
Can I
Uh,
see him outside doing that?
Yeah, you can see them outside.
Hey, Edward, how's it looking out there? Do I need to get Eliza to come sweep?
no, no, thank you. I can
What,
do this on
what
my
is,
own.
what is that?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe a bird, something. I don't know. Something scratched up the damn paint. Something scratched the finish.
Oh God, this thing was expensive. I'll go over and like look at what you're working on. What in the world?
I don't know, but
I'm like looking up
place.
in the sky like, what the hell?
I mean, whatever did it's got enough punch to scratch the finish, but do nothing else. So I mean, I don't know. Parent Butler one said it happened sometime last night.
Before
So
everybody came. Interesting. Okay, so
mhm.
none of the guests, we don't have to worry about any of the guests doing it. That's good. Nobody's
Well,
hurt.
we got to worry about one guest. I say personally,
What do you mean?
uh, furry and big-eared.
Ah, you must be referring to Mr. Rex. I don't know how to refer to him. I'll have to check with Dantillion later. Do, do you think he could have done this?
I don't know. Maybe he'd have to be pretty damn quick to do it, though. I mean, he only got here what, 2-ish hours ago?
They've been walking outside not long ago.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, how long is this going to take you?
Eh, shouldn't be too long. Done before dinner, definitely.
I'm worried somebody's going to come up here and see you working and think our place is a mess.
I mean, if they do, they do. Can't really help it.
It probably only takes you a few minutes to fix the problem.
Yeah, if
However,
they're
as the two of
small.
you were up there, um, speak of the doggy, you guys see coming down the path back towards the manor house. You see Walden and Rex. Um, Walden is running back and forth. He runs forward along the path, then turns around and runs back towards Mr. Walden. Um, Eventually, they're sort of, together side by side. But you do notice that Rex has a large piece of deadwood branch in his
Oh,
mouth.
gotta be joking. Hey,
Um, and there's a couple moments when Mr. Speen grabs hold of the thing and they sort of struggle with it a little bit. And
Oh
finally you hear
gosh.
him,
I swear if they wreck one of the veneers with that thing, ugh,
I
you
hope they don't bring it inside. Can you imagine the dirt?
or
Oh
whatever
boy.
animals could be living inside that thing, bugs or otherwise.
I'll see if I
Fortunately,
can
you see,
get it.
well, you see Mr. Speen take the stick and let it go. Let it, leave it, leave it, leave it. And finally, Rex lets it go and he sort of grabs hold of Rex and then throws the stick back into the woods. Then has to fight Rex a little bit to not chase it back. He says, "Nope, we're going inside. It's almost dinner." And Rex,
Now, does Rex wear like human clothing?
yeah,
Okay. So
for
I'm on
all
my little
intents and
pad.
purposes, and this is kind of weird. He looks like a furry.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Uh,
But it doesn't look like a costume.
okay. So on my little pad, I'm making a note that they will likely need laundry service, and I should definitely, try to push that on, considering
That
the dog smell that may be coming.
that and I'd make sure we have some flea repellent for the sheets.
Oh dear.
Well, you're pretty sure there's no fleas on this. Of course, he could have brought them.
Exactly.
Space fleas. Uh, yeah, I'm very worried about laundry service now.
Dogs.
All
Well,
right.
I'll leave you in peace, Edward, to finish this up and get back to what I was doing.
Yeah, you don't really have to. I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. You're pretty handy with that thing.
I try. Well, I'm gonna go
So,
get a drink. Hopefully Antonio's back at the bar.
so time goes on, and eventually the dinner bell rings, and it's about 10 minutes before dinner. Um, Kip and Marty come in. They seem to be in extremely good mood. Uh, now, Marty Marty's a girl, by the way, just
Hmm.
so that you know. Um, Marty has picked some of the flowers,
Hmm.
which she has bundled together and she's wearing them in her hair. They're very pretty. There's no particular reason why she wouldn't. There's billions of them out there in the
Hmm.
woods. Um, she and him come in. They're very excited and very happy. And they file into the dining room with, giggles and uh, very much in love, very obvious. Cam Fisher, the artist, comes in. Walden Speen and Rex come in. Rex is dressed in a tuxedo, uh, as
Nice.
is uh, as is Walden. Um,
I'll compliment him on how good it looks on him.
Nung, why did I do it? Nung Yep Quig. Uh, he comes in dressed in a regular, in a business suit, but a nice one. And Aloysius Nunk doesn't show up.
But I was expecting that. That's why I packed some food in the picnic basket. Uh, well, I think we have a little piano that, as a side thing, I'll sit and actually play lightly for people as they come in, and I'll take
That's nice.
recommendations, suggestions.
Meanwhile,
Mr.
in the
Blanche.
ki meanwhile in the kitchen, Antonio goes to Stephen. Hey, that Marty is really, really attractive.
Now, Antonio, if you remember back on that Starliner, this is what got us in trouble, right? So
Yeah, but
stay away from the guests.
I managed to weasel my way out of it, and everyone ended up happy in the end.
I'm just don't be careful. Just be very careful.
I'll I'll whip them both up some cocktails. It will help.
Jeez. Okay. What? Yeah. Some more of that purple madness is what you're handing out. Is that what it is?
No, 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 no. The lady gets something else, and to be nice to the man, I'll give him one of my other specialties. I wouldn't be mean and giving me El Diabolico, would I?
Shit. What am I gonna do with you? What am I gonna do with you? I'm telling you, you're such a
Mr.
always calling me problems, always causing me problems.
Mr. Barnsworth, this is Butler 1.
Yes. What is it, Mother One?
I sense that Mr. Nunk has not joined you for dinner.
Mr.
Do you,
Nunk. Oh,
do you
can
want
you,
me do you want me to ring the dinner bell again?
yes, of course. That might be enough.
Okay, so bong, you hear it ring again. But 10 minutes into the meal, when he still hasn't shown up.
Mr. Barnsworth,
Yes, I think I will go check on him. I suspected he might get entranced. I stopped
would you
playing. Yes,
would you
good.
like me to retrieve him?
Oh, of course, Eliza, if you don't mind doing that.
Of course.
All right. Then I'll start playing some more Tom Waits music. It's classical music for people. It's Tom Waits classical.
Eliza, you go along the path heading towards Stardust Falls, and as you get there, you see the chair that Dantillion has set up. But there's nobody there. Um, you look around, and what you see is a place on the bank of the little pool where the waterfall falls into. There is a place where a quantity of water has splashed up onto the dry land. Um, you see that in the soil, there seem to be little pokes, like somebody took the end of a staff and jabbed it here and there in the soil. And there are very distinct drag marks of something that was in the water being pulled out of the water and into the jungle, but no sign of Mr. Nunk.
Mr. Nunk,
Nothing.
Mr. Nunk,
Nothing.
how close am I to the body of water? Are we at the top of
10
the
feet.
waterfall or at the bottom of the
You're
waterfall?
at the bottom of the waterfall.
Okay. So I guess I'm very close to these tracks that go into the jungle.
Yeah.
So I'll start following them.
Okay. They seem to go into the jungle, maybe 20 feet, and then they stop near the base of a rather large arboreal tree that's part of the rainforest. The rainforest here, oh, it's probably 150, 200 feet high. It is a rainforest. But the tracks stop there at the base of the tree.
Mr. Nunk, I must say that climbing the trees could be hazardous to your health.
There is no response.
Butler 1,
Yes, Eliza.
do you have any information about the whereabouts of Mr. Nunk?
I do not sense any vitals from anyone outside the house.
No vitals, you said.
My my sensors don't extend that far. Is there a problem?
Mr. Nunk is simply unaccounted for. I'm afraid he will miss dinner at this rate.
Perhaps you should return. Uh, I will inform Dantillion, uh, but discretion, we should probably keep this quiet. Uh, we don't want to cause a panic or distress. I
Yes, of
I
course.
have I have researched, and it seems that if there is an accident at a bed and breakfast or hotel, it can cause a great deal of damage to the advertising of that place. Um,
That being said, we may have to notify the authorities in Port Nineveh about the incident, if it turns out to be an incident.
we'll leave that up to Dantillion and the others. Please return.
And I will
Uh,
return.
Mr.
Sing
Barnsworth,
us a
this is
song, Mr. Piano Man. Sing us a
actually you're playing the
song
piano,
tonight.
so
Do, 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 the melody. Feeling all right. Da 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 da. Mhm. Oh, anything going on?
Brother.
I was
Miss
getting into it.
Yang,
Yes.
Miss Yang, this is uh, Butler One. Uh, you are needed uh, in the laundry. Oops, here.
Thank you, Butler One. I will head there shortly.
Okay. You head there, and as soon as you arrive there, there's nothing there. Uh, Mr. Yang, I'm sorry that I had to uh, mislead you and bring you here. I needed to speak privately to someone, and Mr. Barnsworth is playing the piano, and I didn't want to interrupt him at dinner. One of our guests is missing, Mr. Nunk.
Missing, like he didn't report for dinner.
Yes, his last position was near Stardust Falls. Eliza went to look for him, and she did not find him. She believes he may be lost or missing or have climbed a tree.
What? Um, okay. Uh, Butler One, can you call all hands who are not currently busy with dinner to the staff room?
I can. I didn't want to alarm anyone.
I believe if somebody's missing, we should figure out how to search for them while not alerting any of the guests. This is
All right.
quite fiddly.
Well, now I am kind of guessing since it's a bed and breakfast, do you guys eat with the guests?
I don't think Edward personally does. I don't think he would.
And Stephen's
Um,
in the kitchen.
me and Me and Stephen, as Stephen is a chef, would probably open it up to everyone else, but in proper restaurants, they have something called family time where they eat either before or after. So we probably all eat together, maybe in the kitchen or whatever after the guests have finished, and we are sure they're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that I could see.
That makes sense.
So whoever is not eating with the guests or performing for them, um, you get a quiet message from Butler One. We need to have a staff meeting in the staff room.
All
Uh,
right, all
uh,
right.
And Antonio goes on.
Eliza, you also get that same message.
Stephen, I'll go and see what's going on. You,
Yeah, I'll tend to the guests. You can fill me in later. I'll take
Yes.
care of dessert and all that kind of stuff. No
hey,
problem.
no, it's already prepped. I've already got it sorted for you. You just got to take it to 'em.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm good.
Hey, look, it's right there.
All right, so you all filter into the staff room.
All right, what's all the hubbub?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Eliza, would you care to tell us what exactly you saw out there?
Yes, Mr. Nunk is missing.
What?
The
And
Let me repeat. Mr. Nunk is missing.
No, I gathered that. I just meant what isn't. Never mind.
the,
Uh,
the
you,
playwright?
Yes, Mr. Nunk, our guest, the playwright.
well,
He is missing.
you know how we stamp the sensors for the doors. Can't we just track them because they are tracked?
We're not a
Can we just track
prison.
that?
We're not a prison, Antonio. That's how they do it in prison.
No, I
Trust
just
me, I
mean they're the
know.
cards. We will have them registered on the system. Surely we could track where the cards are.
We could track him if he was in the house, but he is not in the house. He is missing.
Butler One, can you sense anybody near the house? Maybe he's gone around back to sit by himself. I know he wanted solitude.
I'm only able to sense people inside the house or directly outside the house. I don't get any readings from him at all.
Okay. Um, I think I can go and check on him and figure something out.
How will you check on him when you do not know where he is?
Well, we know that Dantillion took him to the falls, right?
Yes, and I have been to the falls. Mr. Nunk is not there.
Well, I can look for him further, Eliza.
The sun is currently dipping below the horizon.
Yeah,
Um, it will
search in the
get
jungle in
dark.
pitch black. Yeah,
It
good
it will
idea.
get dark soon. There is moonlight. There's also a lot of luminescent insects and things like that. However, your search will be more difficult.
I think we wait till morning and then maybe you and Clark, after you've done the morning duties, can then go and check while
Perhaps
Yeah,
Mr. Clark's favorite guest could follow his scent.
mm,
why do you have an issue with him, Clark?
listen, I just don't. I
But he
don't.
looked so cute in the tuxedo. He's a big fluffy boy.
If he wants to be a dog, he should have stayed a dog. All right?
But he is a human
Yeah,
dog.
exactly. That's what I
I
mean.
Can we can
beautiful.
we ask a guest to do that for us? And that would be alerting them, right? We don't want to freak them
We can't
out.
we can't do that.
I was trying to make what I believe would be called a joke.
Well, Liza wasn't very funny.
I calculate an 85% chance that our reputation would be seriously damaged by news of a guest being harmed or injured.
First night, and of course the playwright decides to go cuckoo. Right?
He's probably got method and trying to get into the zone.
All right. In the morning, me, me and Balth will go in. Me and Bath, we'll go into the jungle near the falls. We'll see if we can find any trace of him. If not,
You seem to
we say,
misunderstand. I followed all traces that were there in the jungle to follow. They did not lead to Mr. Nunk.
well, where did they lead? Eliza,
They
care to
led
enlighten?
from the pool of water to a tree.
And that's it.
That is where the extent of the tracks lead, yes.
Maybe they can check out the tree in the morning and give it analysis or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Okay. All right. How about this? How about this? We say that at least for now, until we find him, he went into town, got a call from an acting buddy or something. He went out for drinks, but might have stayed with his friend.
That lie would be more convincing if town was not 4 hours away and did not require a shuttle to land at the facility and then leave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody would have
you're
seen
right.
him come and go.
You're right.
believe the
Uh,
nearest town is Pegston. It's 430 miles.
Yeah.
we can just say he's in his room, like he's a proper
We
he already said he wanted a
we
quiet
do not
place.
need to say anything.
No,
All
I
our
mean
guests
if
are, I
they
believe, what
ask.
you would call adults. Adults can do what they want, yes?
That is
He's not
true.
a child.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, he's a
All right.
playwright, so he's a little bit of a child, but you know.
When
I mean,
when
I
do we
can
need to
think of a
report
few
this
other
though?
individuals.
If we
Whoa,
report,
Eliza, you don't need to be mean to Edward like that, God's sake.
all right, look, if we report this, we're gonna fucking go bankrupt. You understand that, Balthazar? If any word of this gets out, we're going down the crapper with all our money.
Well, you're all going down the crap. Me and Stephen always get out of it unscathed. It's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, we keep quiet about this. If he shows back up, great. If he doesn't, oh well. One more body in the jungle, right?
I believe
Yeah,
there are currently no bodies in the jungle.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Then that places the number of bodies in the jungle anywhere between 0 and 1. Of
Point still
course, if you're
stands.
limiting your just definition of bodies to human bodies, which I assume that you are,
Point still stands. If he comes back, he comes back. If he don't, he don't. Simple as that.
I mean, that would make a nice binary system.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I
One
believe
of
that one of those outcomes is significantly worse for your business prospects.
They should help fertilize the jungle.
Yes, that is true.
one of the truths about your situation is you don't let kids come here because kids invariably run off and you don't have any boundaries or fences or anything like that. So uh, yeah, and there's not really any authorities. So even like organizing a search party
Could take a while.
could take weeks before they'd even arrive. I mean,
If they
Port
cared.
Port
Yeah.
Nineveh is 3,000 miles away. Well, yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sure they would
Perhaps
care, but
one of the things to consider is the precarity of the situation may not be as severe as you think that it is.
He's probably
I'm
just
sure
getting
you
some
had all
information.
your guests sign waivers. I mean, if a guest were to wander off and get lost in the jungle, surely that could not be the fault of us.
I'm pretty sure that was in the fine print of what Dantalion wrote up.
And we
probably.
we did advertise that this place is pretty remote and unexplored.
Perhaps
Okay,
the disappeared playwright will give a sense of charm or a haunting, so to speak. Some people do enjoy ghost stories, do they not?
But that is the smartest thing you've ever said, Eliza. And you've said some smart things.
I
Yes, you should listen to
calculate
my
a
conversations with Butler One sometime.
I calculate a 93% chance that you will no longer be getting high-paying clientele, but rather mostly low-paying crackpots that will want to come here if you advertise haunting.
Money is money, Butler. Money is money. Doesn't matter who it comes from.
That is stating the obvious.
Of course, the most likely scenario is that you will have to liquidate the property and spend the rest of your lives with enormous debt.
Thank you, Eliza.
And sell
Ah,
off Eliza to a less advanced prospect.
he'll be okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll get through this. Let's all just go back to normal jobs. I'm gonna go back to the bar, and he might just turn up in the morning. Who knows? Or he's
You know
probably
what?
just on the
I
run.
find that highly unlikely.
Eliza, stop with that talk. Just zip it. Shh.
but I do not have any zippers.
Right, I'm gonna go make myself a drink.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Antonio. I need something.
I will make
So
you an El Diabolico.
so dinner ends. Um, People tend to wander into the bar, and Dantillion, you don't keep playing piano all evening long,
No, of course
but
not. No, it's just for the dinner part.
actually, we'll say that Kip, uh, Kip Tyson, he asks if you don't mind, and he
Mhm.
sits down at the bar and starts playing the piano. Sits down at the piano and starts playing, and
Oh,
his wife sings,
oh,
and it's
wonderful.
it's quite pleasant. But at that point, you get informed what's going on,
Oh,
as does Stephen, who's cleaned up after dinner.
oh,
Yeah,
We've
I'm
Eliza.
helping
probably
vacuum the restaurant and everything.
we've probably all
Um,
gathered for a
yeah,
kind of
I
after
excuse
dinner
myself
service
for
dinner.
regular maintenance type activities. And I seek out Eliza because she's my best person to get sit reps from. Eliza, what is going on exactly?
Mr. Barnsworth, it would appear that Mr. Nunk has gone missing,
In what sense?
and the fact that he is gone, vanished, disappeared. I went to go look for him, but he was no longer by the waterfall, and there was no trace of him whatsoever. It would
Was
seem, to use a figure of speech, he vanished into thin air,
well,
or something dragged him into the water or up a tree.
well, there's shouldn't be anything big enough to be dangerous to a human. I was worried he'd be so enthralled by the waterfall that he wouldn't want to leave. But okay, I'm gonna go get flashlights and stuff. And
We could fish for his body if you think that he went into the water.
yes, we're gonna do everything we can. We can't just leave him out there. I mean, he might be. Were his clothes there?
No.
So he didn't take a swim then. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to come down and you and I are going to go look. What are the rest of the, what's going on? Oh, okay.
Everybody else is debating whether or whether not to do anything. I believe Mr.
Okay.
Clark and Mr. Cabrera are drinking.
That is completely the wrong thing to be doing, but we do have to have the place look like it's running normally. Okay. You and I, Eliza, will go look. We'll go take a look.
Understood, Mr. Barnsworth.
Okay. I'm going to get flashlights. I'm going to get maybe some type of scanner for finding the tattoo at a distance. If there's some kind of like thing we can use to that effect, maybe with 10 feet or something. I don't know. Some kind of thing we can cobble together
Something
from,
that will something that will detect the implant.
yeah, with something able to detect the implant.
If if you are kind of doing this, I do think Edward would kind of come around. Uh, you planning on going out into the jungle, aren't you?
Absolutely. We have to
There
find this
is nowhere
person.
else to go out to.
Thank you, Eliza.
The longer we wait, the more likely that if he's okay, something bad will happen. So we have to go check.
All right. Well, look, if you're going, I'll go with you.
All right.
You do
Everyone
not
else
seem
should
very
stay
happy with
here.
this.
So,
Yeah, I'll be serving the cocktails. Stephen
mhm.
and Beth will keep the place running.
Okay.
And things are winding down. People are going to start going to bed. So, you guys too. So, you might stay up until midnight or 1, but
I do not
Everybody,
sleep.
you don't sleep. No.
if
Um,
they've all
so
gone to
who's
bed.
who's going out to look around?
Eliza, Dantillion, and Edward at this point, it sounds like.
Okay. And
Well,
you've got
because
flashlights.
Mhm.
yeah, mostly I'm coming along because I have a laser cutter. So in
That
case we
might
do
be
run into
helpful.
anything,
Might be helpful.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the general scene from the perspective of when he was sitting at his little chair and sort of try to figure out where he would have gone from there. Maybe if there's tracks or something, or
Okay. So you go out there. Now, the jungle, the rainforest is almost spectacular at night as well. You thought about this, but you haven't done it yet. You want to install little path lighting that goes
Hmm.
out, you know, along. Uh, you'd want it kind of dim because there are a lot of phosphorescent
Hmm.
insects and flowers and plants and fungi and stuff like that. Think Avatar. It doesn't look
Mm,
undifferent than that. Um, you arrive at the path and you see the chair where it was sitting,
Hmm.
and the ground, because this is a rainforest, the ground is always a little squishy, you
Yep.
know. So you do tend to leave footprints. You can clearly see that uh, I mean, it takes a little bit of skill to see it, but as you're looking, you can see the path of your footprints coming down here and
Hmm.
so forth. Um, you can definitely see Eliza's previous footprints because the bottoms of her feet are shaped a little
Differently.
differently. They're very smooth, so um, maybe there's little grippers or something that leave a distinct mark. You can see that there are two sets of male shoes
That
where
was
he was
mine.
sitting.
mm.
Hmm.
Um, and you're pretty sure he got up at some point and he walked not directly to the water, but a little to the side. Um, Speculation, maybe he had to urinate and just sort of chose a spot a
Ah, I
little out
see.
of the way.
Right.
Um,
Gonna have to do something about
uh,
that for future guests.
it then looks like his footprints disappear.
Right.
He's
So the
up,
main.
he's up, he's up near the edge
Hmm.
of the water, and then his footprints, there's no returning footprints
Right.
unless he walked backwards and his feet went into
Which
exactly
he
the
wouldn't have
same.
done. And it's shoes here, so he didn't like skinny dip or something like that.
Right.
And
Then
mhm,
what Eliza saw
mhm,
is a little ways over on the other side, near the path.
mhm.
It looks like, well, she said that there was water all over this part,
Right.
and that something had been dragged, looks like
Oh
out of the
dear.
water and
Uh,
over to this tree, and then it once again disappears.
does it look is the drag shape roughly the width of a human body?
Well, there's definitely two gouges
Oh, from
where maybe
feet
the heels, yeah.
dragged. He still has shoes on then, or whatever. Oh, good. Okay, we have to keep following this.
Yeah.
So it goes to
Well,
a
it
tree.
goes
Would you
it
like to
goes up
climb
to the
the
base.
tree, Mr. Bardsworth?
I'm not particularly agile for such things.
I don't think it would be possible. It's pretty much straight up and
That's
down
that's a big
until
one.
maybe 50 or 60 feet up.
Okay, so what type is the tree have very dense foliage? Is it impossible to see up or is it fairly
Think
sparse?
giant sequoia. It's mostly trunk going up until maybe 50 or 60 feet, and then it branches out and becomes
Does the tree
a
appear
canopy
scratched or
of.
damaged at all?
It looks like tree bark, so you can't really tell.
I'll just kind of point my flashlight up towards the branches, see if I can see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Oh,
You flash.
we brought those devices for detecting the tattoo now.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah, you point that, Danny. I'll point this.
Okay.
you seem to be getting a faint blip, but it's not right next to the tree.
Oh, like up the
It's
tree or away from the tree?
away from the tree. But it's your device doesn't show direction very well. It shows
Mhm.
direction this way,
Mm.
Right.
but doesn't really show direction this way.
Right.
Um, Maybe 30 feet away from the tree, but that's almost in the middle of the path, and there's nothing there. And
Right.
like I say, it's very faint. So the only thing you can think of is
Oh,
Is up. Edward, are you able to scale something like that?
not without gear, no. But I'll here point at the spot again. I'll point my light up, see if he's up there.
Let's
And
look for a glint of clothing or something. Well,
yeah, I'll
clothing
go to the
doesn't glint, you know what
spot.
I mean.
I'll go to the spot and point my flashlight up.
okay.
Mr. Nunk. Nunk.
Uh, you keep moving your flashlight around and flashing. Suddenly, way up there in the tree,
Mhm.
um, something luminous appears, and it's hard to describe. It almost looks like circles, um, maybe 10, 11 circles. They seem to, you can't really tell if they're overlapping or in front of each other or behind each other, but they seem to be almost perfect circles way up there. They're luminous, kind of a blue green color, and they kind of seem to sort of flash and spin. They don't spin around each other, but each circle seems to be stationary and
Spinning in
spin
place.
almost like a pinwheel or I don't know, some sort of little windmill or helicopter blade or it kind of reminds you of that. And the more you think about it, the more bizarrely fascinating it becomes.
Yeah.
Dantalion,
And
you
and
see anything?
Eliza, you find Edward and Dantillion suddenly stopped in their tracks, staring up at these flashing circles of life. They look like they're maybe 150 or 200 feet up. You can probably calculate, based on parallax, that they are exactly 183 feet up in the tree. Um, they look interesting, but they don't have any kind of effect on you. But Edward and Dantillion are standing there open mouthed and unmoving.
Mr. Barnesworth,
He doesn't respond.
Mr. Clark,
Nothing. You analyze the light, you can see that it's of certain odd frequencies. Um, you whatever make hertz or whatever. I don't remember how light's calculated, but
frequency. Yeah.
drawing, yeah, whatever frequency it seems to not quite scintillate, but it seems to be very much in that blue-green sort of area of the spectrum. And based on your, you're not your programming, but your tie-in to the house computer, you estimate that that particular frequency has been used in the past to hypnotize people. You think that these two gentlemen are somehow hypnotized.
I'll go over and very gently, I'll grab the top of Mr. Barnesworth's head
Mhm.
and pull it down so that he's looking at me and not the light.
Yeah, as soon as he does that, Dantellian, you're like, why is Eliza grabbing me?
Mr.
Eliza,
Barnesworth,
what's up?
you were distracted by the lights of the tree.
Do I remember that?
You remember definitely looking up at them. They seemed very, very, very beautiful.
Do I see Edward kind of stuck like that?
Yeah, you see him stuck looking up at them.
Oh God. Thank you, Eliza. I appreciate that. Well, now we have possibly an inkling of what happened to Mr. Nunk.
I'll do the same thing with Mr. Clark.
Yeah, the same thing. Also, as soon as you
Yeah.
stop flashing
Oh,
your lights up there, after a moment they stop, and they don't wink out all at once. They wink out one after the other.
What the
uh,
hell happened?
I'm
I
af
believe that the
yes,
word that they would use for this is hypnotism.
yeah. It appears there might be some kind of creature up there that's a predator, or maybe it's a defense reaction, but don't look up.
The
But
likelihood that a creature would evolve to emit light in the spectrum to hypnotize humans seems very improbable.
that's true.
Uh,
Do you think it's for a second I thought it might be a drone or something up there. Do you can you look at it without well, obviously it wouldn't affect you.
Yes, it did not
Does
affect me in the slightest.
does it look like something that I gotta look up? There's kind of a kind of an urge to look at it again.
Elijah can
Um,
see that it's no longer there.
oh good, okay.
Whatever it
yeah.
is gone.
Did it seem like was in any way mechanical in nature? Could it be some kind of drone?
I mean, it
I
kind
mean,
of looked like.
on one level, this whole place has an abundance of bioluminescence, which is quite remarkable. But this specific pattern of emitting light and from so many sources in such a homogeneous way seems more like
Oh,
mechanical than it does biological.
I don't know, but
well, the
I got the
waterfalls.
creeps.
I can't shake the feeling that something's grabbed him and taken him up there.
Well, we
Let's.
should definitely check the tree. I believe that is where we will find him.
Yes, but how are we going to get up it? Do we have any kind
Well,
of tools at the house that would let us
Do we have
ascend the
anything
tree?
that like
I mean,
floats? Like there's the hovercraft that brings people here, but do we have something like that?
You
Or did we
could
strand
probably
ourselves out here?
ooh,
you
actually,
could
I have an idea.
Hmm.
Uh, part of my starting equipment comes with infrared goggles, so I'm gonna
Feel free to
take
put them
the.
on and look.
Yeah, I'm gonna take those out of my pack and just kind of scan the tree line, see if anything looks human in shape in the immediate area.
I think he's up the
um
tree. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'll give a quick glance up, but not very long, just in case I accidentally see something else.
when you look up, there is obviously a large amount of various animals
Hmm.
that live in the arboreal forest up high. So you see things, some moving around, some stationary, things like that. You don't see anything that looks like a human body.
Well, he ain't up there.
But we're still getting the tattoo reading from that direction.
Are we
Uh,
still getting the tattoo read? Are
yes,
we
it's
still
very
getting the
faint.
read? Well,
Yep.
now that the lights are gone, are we still getting it?
Yes,
Okay.
it hasn't moved,
What was
but
your idea
it's
for getting up
probably
there?
150 or 183 feet away.
I
Is there?
may I may be able
Yep.
to rig up some climbing gear, but it'll take, well, a tree
Oh, you
this
mean like a
size.
lumberjack's kind of kit with that belt they throw around the
Yeah,
tree
base
and
a
and the
belt,
little
couple of
this
climbing hooks. Yeah.
You mentioned
Mm,
earlier too that you have anti-grav um, things that you use to carry the luggage and stuff like that, or other heavy loads. Those
yeah,
might be modified to
could rig one of
repel,
those.
like
I,
a
I we're going to need to do
cherry
that.
picker.
We need to see what's up there. We need to if he's
All
yes, we
right.
need to do that.
Well,
That'll take skill rolls, and you'll have to do that. It'll take more than a day to.
I
Right.
don't know if
Well, it'll
he's
take more than a few hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's up the tree though. My infrared's not picking anything up.
It
Does
if he was no longer alive and up the tree, you wouldn't see anything.
But I'd see a very cold human shape.
Would
I don't
you?
see any. Maybe.
Is that what would happen, Tom? Would he see a cold human shape?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's there's so much life here that it's hard to tell.
That would kind of blend.
Everything is kind of giving off some sort of warmth.
Mm.
Plus, it's a warm night. Well, it's not a
does
particularly warm night, but
Mr. Barnsworth,
Yes.
do we have any kind of shuttle here at the manor?
Do we?
We got the shuttle
um,
back to town.
you have a shuttle.
It
Could we?
may
It's
it may be easier
To
to
fly
go not from
overhead?
the ground up, but to go from the
Up,
top down,
down, right. I see what you mean.
lower somebody into the tree.
Lower someone into the tree line. I see what you mean. That's an excellent suggestion. Who is the most physically adept among us for this sort of thing? Now that I have a feeling that Mr. Cabrera probably should earn his keep. Maybe he would be the best person to lower down. Okay. All
Mm,
right, let's get Mr. Cabrera out here and we'll lower him down the tree line and have him take a look. All
all
right.
right. Well, we got to go back to grab the shuttle.
Yeah, we'll go back to grab the shuttle, Mr.
Oh,
Cabrera,
are you
who
going to do that in the
Yes.
dark?
Yeah, that's also true.
The sooner that we find him, the more likely it is that he will still be alive.
yes, in point of Eliza again speaks correctly. We should try to do it
There's
tonight.
a there's a lot of things up there that may not be too friendly to people.
There's
I'm
also
sure
a lot of
Mr.
tree branches and stuff in the way dropping down from up above.
And doing that in the dark's gonna be hell.
Well, Mr. Cabrera is a bit of a daredevil, isn't he? Doesn't he pride himself on these things?
He prides himself, but does he have the skill? Very debatable.
Well, he's probably the one most willing to attempt it. So let's
His,
talk to him.
In the
his
dark,
mother
maybe.
was very long lived.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they obviously a very lucky family. They that's something that obviously that'll work in his favor.
Yeah, whatever you say.
So we
If
go
you do
back.
not want to risk any persons, I would be happy to be lowered down. It was my idea, after all.
Eliza, do you feel competent to do this?
I am fairly agile.
All right.
There you go.
I don't rate you any less than Mr. Cabrera in your significance, but if you're feeling comfortable doing it, we'll do that. And you're also less likely to have a predator take an interest in you, so this actually might be the
I
safer
believe
option.
that my nerves will also not get in the way, given that I
Uh,
do not have any.
I envy you on that point sometimes. All right, let's do it, gentlemen.
All
All
right.
right.
So when are you going to do that? I mean, you're going
Tonight.
to maybe wait until everybody's asleep?
Yep.
I I will join you guys anyway. Mainly because I like industrial equipment and all that jazz, and I'm used to paracords and things like that. So this is sort of my.
All right.
And if someone needs to drop down to help Eliza quite quickly,
I can't say that's not a bad idea. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
and you will come
You get the
useless.
shuttle,
Hey, who is in
and of
his
course,
insurance, by the way? Like, if he does die, who gets the payment? Is it the brother? Okay, good to know. Got it.
all right. So you get the shuttle. Um, it's fairly easy to pilot yourself if you need to.
Mhm.
Um, you get in the shuttle and you take it out and you're hovering above the tree line.
Mhm.
You are probably about 300 feet up from the ground, and you have cables if you're going to lower Eliza down.
Mhm.
Eliza, you have a built-in sort of GPS system. So you know that you are directly over where the lights were. Oh, you're going to probably go directly over where the
The
signal
signal
is
was.
coming from.
Yes.
So we're going to give Eliza the tattoo detector, and we're going to
Okay.
give her some kind of rope or kit to wrap around Mr. Nunk if we do find his body, so that we can pull him
Yeah,
back in.
I'll give her extra cords to wrap around.
Okay. So Eliza, um, you are lowered down on the cable. Uh, how are you hanging on the cable?
I probably have a
Waist.
harness of some sort.
Okay. So you're hanging right side up,
Yeah.
sort of in a sitting position. Okay. You go down. There are a number of large branches that you sort of have to push yourself off of them to lower next to it. So the cable's not going straight down. It ends up sort of going around branches as you're going. If they were to try to suddenly pull you up very quickly, you'd bash yourself on multiple limbs. So you lower down, and uh, as you are approaching the spot, uh, there is suddenly something in the in amongst the branches and leaves, something that you can't clearly see because of all the leaves and the branches, something that sort of drones and flashes these circles of light at you in a rather menacing sort of flash. And then you can hear tree branches moving. You can hear things, the branches creaking. You can hear the leaves rustling as whatever this thing is quickly moving away from you in the bushes, in the branches. Uh, but directly below you, sort of snagged onto the branches, you can see the body of Mr. Uh, Aloysius Nunk. He's fully dressed. He's somewhat damper than you would expect him to be. And when he's dead, so he's cold. Um, but your immediate diagnosis looking at him is that he drowned.
I have good news.
Oh,
I have successfully located Mr. Nunk's corpse.
well, that's better than not finding him. Can you can you rig him up for a pull-up?
Certainly. He apparently drowned.
Oh,
Wait, drowned in a tree?
No,
No,
he drowned.
he
something dragged him into the water by the falls, and then whatever drowned him dragged him in the tree, probably to eat him.
well,
He
if
does
he
not appear to be nibbled on, Mr. Clark. Unless he does
oh,
appear to be nibbled on.
Well, you'd need to do a more thorough examination. It's hard to do when you're hanging in a tree.
yep, bring him up
Well,
so we
I
don't have
will.
you. Yeah, it's
So
precarious
you
to leave
bring
you
him
down
up,
there.
Well,
and in the process of hauling him into the shuttle, the diagnosis of drowning seems apparent because as you turn the body, water does come out of his mouth. Um, his eyes are somewhat glazed over. And you do notice that something has pierced um, one of his shoulders, and it looks like maybe a part of his neck, and that there's not bruising, but there is definitely damage. There's tearing of it, almost as if whatever it was dragged him by those points, and that was what was dragging him along the ground and then up into the tree.
Right. Dragged him into the water. He drowned. Dragged him into the tree, but didn't eat him at all. Didn't feast on him in any way.
You, you once again, it's still hard to tell when you're here in the shuttle, but if you do an examination, does any of you have medical?
uh,
Um,
I think the one of the people who does isn't with us, and it's Balf.
Well,
Yeah, I
what are
have
you going to
first
do?
aid and biology.
Can
What are
we
you guys going to
contact
do with the
Balf over the
body?
system?
Well,
Get some
look,
advice?
We'll bring the
Of
body back.
yeah, we'll bring him back
yeah,
into like,
we gotta bring the shuttle back. Let's just bring it
yeah.
back.
Okay.
Get him to come to the shuttle because I don't want to
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah, we
Hey,
don't want it seen in the
is
building.
is Butler connected to the shuttle?
Butler's connected to Eliza, so yeah, I'm
Eliza,
sure Butler's attached to the shuttle
What
as
is it,
well.
let
Mr. Clark?
tell Butler to get Bath on the line. Tell him to come to the shuttle port.
Butler 1, would you please notify Mr. Yang that he is wanted in the shuttle port?
Mr. Yang, you're wanted in the shuttle port. I've informed Mr. Yang that he's wanted in the shuttle port.
Thank you, Butler 1. Mr. Clark, Butler 1 has just informed me that he has informed Mr. Yang to meet us at the shuttle port.
Thank you, Eliza.
Of course.
Efficiency at work. Okay.
Mr. Yang, you are quite satisfied that everybody in the house is sound asleep.
I've collected laundry and gotten it in the machine, and it's going to do its thing and spit out these nice folded and pressed clothes, in an hour or so.
Should we get Stefan out here too? I mean, he kind of co-runs the place. I think he should
He's a
know that someone.
hardworking man. Let him sleep.
No, no, get him out. I need to tell him something.
Ah, anybody here needs sleep. It's him. All right, sure.
I do
We'll
not need
say-
sleep, Mr. Barnsworth.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You don't, but if anybody who does need sleep, Stefan is the one who would need sleep.
Eliza,
most.
please notify Butler that Stefan needs to be
Okay,
notified.
I'm gonna Eliza, it's okay. We're back.
No, Eliza, notify.
It's okay. Just
Butler
don't have.
one. I've been instructed to notify you to notify Mr. Cabrera that he needs more sleep.
Thank you, thank you, Eliza.
Mr. Cabrera, are you awake?
Uh, yes, Butler One, I am awake.
I've been monitoring the shuttle conversation. I think you are wanted at the shuttle landing pad.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, good.
Butler has some common sense. God.
They've made some progress. I'll meet him down there. Please let them know I am coming.
Oh no, no, don't.
Eliza,
Mr. Barnsworth, I have been informed by Butler One that Mr. Cabrera has acknowledged our request to meet us.
I
in
have
the
somehow
shuttle.
anticipated this, Eliza. I don't know why. Okay.
so
Do you need anything else?
No, no,
Nah, I
Okay.
think we're good. I
Yep.
think we're good.
we're good.
Balthasar and Stephen, you of course run into each other because you get the message at the same time, nearly the same time. And you are leaving the house and walking. It's just about 100 feet away. But as you leave the manor and you start outside, you hear what sounds like a noise, something coming from behind you and up high. And as you turn quickly just to look and see what it is, there's something on the roof of the manor house, something like red sticks. You see it. It's moving to the other side of the manor house. Sort of, you're just catching it as it's moving to the other side. But you definitely could hear, a sort of scrambling sound as it did it. Not like it was trying to hide from you, but just like it was crawling on the roof. It was fairly big too, like the size of maybe, I don't know, with whatever those things were, maybe its legs. The leg span was 10 feet.
Wow. Balthasar, did you see that?
Jesus, Stephen, what was that?
I don't know. I really didn't get a good look at it, but it kind of looked like it had a few legs. It's big.
Uh, do we have some kind of like lockdown for this thing so it can't get in? Like,
Butler One controls all of the windows and doors of the building.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll actually Butler One.
Yes, Mr. Cooper. Yes, Stephen.
Um, there seems to be something crawling on the roof. It seems to be fairly large. If you would, please secure all the windows and doors of the
Yes, sir.
house.
Windows and doors are secured.
Thank you.
And as you're standing there, you now hear the quiet whir of the shuttle as it's setting down on the pad.
let's pick up our pace. I don't want to stick around for when this thing gets curious about us.
Yeah, I think we might have to hire some security.
or an exterminator. What? God, what was that?
I don't know.
At least I
So,
can tell Edward that that's probably what busted that part of the roof earlier.
Maybe so.
Stephen and Balthazar, as you arrive at the pad, um, the others are there with the dead body of Aloysius Nunk. And we'll
Well,
do the first roll of the night,
ooh.
the only roll of the night. Balthazar, do some medical
Okay.
biology,
Would you like biology or first aid?
whichever. Well, biology. First aid's
Okay.
not going to do you any good.
You'll get a
Okay.
bigger
So
bonus for that too.
so let's do. I got a 12.
Nice.
So there are definitely, well, first of all, these two marks, one on the shoulder and one on the neck. It looks almost like something was like a pick was gone, went all the way through his body, and then his body was dragged by it. Um, but there are also marks on his chest that went through his suit, through his shirt, and into his skin. There are four of them, and they do definitely give you the feeling of fangs or stingers. However, when you analyze them carefully, it looks like they bled a little, uh, but there doesn't seem to be any odd or foreign substance in there.
Mm.
Um, Nor does it look like anything was sucked out.
And
So
I'll
you,
I'll, I'll relay to them. Well, it doesn't look like a spider bite or anything like that. It's not like it was sucking on him.
so
Uh,
he wasn't killed by the action of being punctured. It was the drowning that did it then?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everything seems to indicate that he drowned. His blood circulation was not flowing when he was pierced.
Great, we got a monster that drowns people in the jungle now. Fantastic.
We are going to have to deal with it. It's a threat to the guests.
Yeah.
We're going to have to deal with it
Oh,
tonight.
yeah. And there's something crawling on the roof.
That's probably the thing, isn't
There's
it?
what?
Yeah, there's something. Balthazar and I saw it. There's something crawling on the roof. It's big.
Oh, for the
Um,
love of God.
I had Butler One lock the house down.
Good.
I am surprised that your initial surveys of the area over the last 6 months of establishing this facility were not um, did not turn up any large animal life. If it is if it is indeed an animal and not a machine.
Maybe it migrates over long stretches of time and it just wasn't there while we were looking.
Most
I'm
likely, you guys are the very first people
on this
ever to
part of
be
the
out
planet.
here.
Yeah,
So
just our luck.
you don't have time. You built a house. You didn't have time to
Curious that a
survey the
creature would
campus.
identify humans as prey, given that we did not evolve here. I say we, in a
With
very
my
loose sense. I
Yes,
did
of
not
course.
evolve.
It might have mistaken us for something else.
with my infrared, I'm just gonna keep an eye on the house for when this thing decides to move so I can see it.
What would you
So
like
what
to
do
be
you?
done with Mr. Nuke's corpse?
Well, that's going to be a secondary concern. The first concern is dealing with the creature. Mr. Cabrera, I feel in of anyone here I would ask, did you bring any armaments when you decided to settle here with us? I really didn't. Did you?
Um, I'm
It's up
sure
to
that
you.
yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I did.
I
Um,
didn't. I didn't really bring any real weapons. Not something to do with this. I've got a kukri,
Hmm.
but
Well, the other possibility is maybe we can lure the thing away from the house. If we can figure out what it would be attracted to.
well,
Well,
if
it's attracted
It
to
seemed
people.
Accidentally, maybe?
I mean, this is assuming that this creature is the same thing that took Mr. Nunk after he drowned.
I think there's a decent probability.
Well,
I mean, if
It
can
doesn't hunt
the
people. I don't think maybe it doesn't eat them. Maybe it doesn't hunt them, but it could be a territorial reaction. Could be all
well
kinds
if
of things.
someone the problem is if we in the staff room in the security compartment there are like two rifles in there, but
Hmm.
There is something else that I fear that you are overlooking in this matter.
Hmm.
If this is indeed the creature from the tree, and that is the
Hmm.
creature that dragged Mr. Nunk up the tree,
Hmm.
it
then this creature
probably
also
hypnotized
exhibits
him.
a powerful hypnotism.
Right.
The five of
We can't
you will be
look at it.
powerless against its effects. How do you hunt
R-
something that you can't look at?
hey,
Easy. We send someone who can look at it.
I've got an even smarter idea.
Oh boy, you
El
thought.
Eliza is our eyes. We blindfold ourselves and she tells us where to shoot.
Perhaps a better idea would just be give me the gun, and I will try my best.
Actually, Eliza, did you say that it kind of did some kind of weird display at you when you first showed up in the tree?
Yes, I fear it did not appreciate my presence.
It has a animal display mechanism of "don't fuck with me." If we can duplicate that on a bigger scale, like as a bigger animal, maybe we can chase it off.
Well, actually, what was the color pattern?
Yeah,
Maybe we
let's
can
do the
rig
same pattern
we
and in
can
a
rig up
bigger
some
way and just say,
lights.
yeah, we're a bigger predator than you. Go away. This is not your territory.
That's not a bad
Is that
idea.
really a good idea, though? I mean, it's kind of like two bears that meet each other in the woods and they kind of show their teeth to the other one.
It ran away from Eliza after doing it, so that
Mr.
meant
Cabrera, your stress levels seem to be elevated.
oh here, I
Yes,
brought
yes,
I
my
brought a
stress
beer
levels
just
are.
in case. Here, have something to drink. I knew this
Oh,
was gonna
thank
happen.
you.
All right.
Yes.
Stephen, you need to calm down. It's not that stressful.
Uh, it's a
You
little stressful.
guys, it's a little stressful. It's a little stressful.
All right. All right.
Eliza,
Here's the plan.
could you help us duplicate that display? It come up with a way of duplicating the display you saw so we could create the same
Yes,
effect.
that technology should be easily feasible.
Okay.
And if that doesn't
Perhaps
work,
not with parts that we have on hand, but we could order some.
that's going to take weeks for
Oh.
anything specific.
I will see what I can rig up, so to speak.
There we go. That's the
Well,
magic word.
listen. If that doesn't work, we set Eliza outside with a gun and she shoots it.
That is probably not going to play out well. Let's okay. I guess the other thing is, gentlemen, if we can't do this tonight, we're going to have to send the guests home, and that's the end of us. We can't if we leave them here pretending things are okay, someone else is going to get eaten. You know that.
And
Right now, the liability isn't on us because we didn't know, but if now that we know, the liability is on us.
And on that note, I think we will call it for the evening.
On the big L word.
Take this up again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We're so doomed. Not doomed as we're going to die. We're just going to be broke and have.
we're going to be financially doomed.
Yeah, we're eventually doomed. We're screwed. And Eliza's going to have a terrible next owner, and it's all going to be bad.
Our players included Julian Arba, Morgan Llewellyn, Troy Lehman, Connor McLean, Josh Harwood, and Grady Williams, with yours truly as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for this show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.